And we Republicans have such a different view than Democrats of that, and it's really sad. And then the second comment I want to say is that there is such a disparity between the two sides regarding health care. And I think from knowing your personality and seeing you, you're the type of person to bridge that gap. And I really applaud you for being such a uniting and kind person to everybody who really sees both sides. And you're the kind of person who can help work this out between two very different ideologies. My question for you is, I just have not seen, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I have not seen Ron Kind, our congressman in 14 years, really work hard to bring the jobs to our area. I know it's not government's job to create jobs, but the climate in the 3rd district seems to have declined immensely. I can't recall where new industry and manufacturing and lots of business or great innovative ideas for agriculture have happened. And I just wondered, do you have some ideas to help that job climate here in the 3rd district?
Well, a couple things. First off, well, yeah, 2. Again, cap and trade is going to kill jobs. So you got to kill that. I would not have voted for that, and shouldn't have voted for that. It's going to kill jobs in western Wisconsin. And secondly, this health care bill. When you have multi-stack who's worried that they're going to get, they've got a Cadillac health plan, they're going to get taxed, they're going to have to go to their employees and say, I either need more from you, or we have to lay off some people, and that's what I was told. Then, you know, those are the kind of things that government does that is harmful to the growth of jobs in any area, whether it be in western Wisconsin or throughout the state. You can't do that. You just can't do that. I mean, when the economy's going well, we can do a lot of things as individuals and as entrepreneurs and as employees. I mean, there's so much more. But when you don't have a job, what are you going to do? And that's what the government really needs to scale back and leave more money. The last budget in Wisconsin, we raised taxes and fees by $5 billion. That all came out of the private sector.
Yeah.
It's a job killer. It's $5 billion out of the private sector. That's where it comes from.
Look at the Irish model.
Yeah, or look what's happened in Greece.
But do you believe that there's some incentives we could give to businesses to stay here or to come here? I mean, certainly the governor of Louisiana took some businesses from the Midwest and encouraged them by tax breaks. I mean, is there something that we can do to encourage businesses to stay here? Because this is ending up to be a state where our businesses are leaving, our kids who will go to college here leave. Yeah. We're getting a brain drain. This is not a place to retire anymore. I mean, what can we do to save these businesses? What can be the incentive for jobs?
First off, I talked to 2 examples here. IBM located in Dubuque, Iowa, recently within the last couple of years, and they're looking at, man, I forget, I think even over 1,000 jobs eventually are going to go there. Good paying jobs, 40 to 60,000 or more. The article in the Milwaukee Sentinel, John Turinas is the guy that writes business for the Milwaukee Sentinel. He had an article about this. And he contacted the State Department of Commerce in Madison and said, what role did you play in trying to bring IBM to Eau Claire or any place in Wisconsin? And the answer that he got was, well, they did knock on our door. That was the answer. And so I'm a business guy, and if I want to stay in business, I got to market. And we have a lot to market here in Wisconsin. We have to get, well, you know about, of course, Menards here, and when they wanted to grow, you know that story. And you know about Ashley Furniture down south of here, and when they wanted to grow. These are the kind of things that government has to do to grow jobs in any area. I mean, you can't throw up these roadblocks and say people. It's a global economy right now, as everybody knows. I mean, Caterpillar could end up in Mexico tomorrow. They could say, we're just done.
China the next one.
Yeah, the bottom line looks better there. Yeah. So those are the kind of things that I think we should do as a elected official, whether it be at state level or federal level. Yes, ma'am.
I echo Lori. You are united. You handled her. I want to come out of my skin with people that are of that mindset, so I think you did well. But what are the polls? I haven't heard anything. I know you've got an uphill climb.
Oh.
How does it look? What's our chances?
Well, you know I never do anything to lose. But, you know, it's a matter of being out here and visiting with the people and sending the message out. My message is, some people are gonna disagree, and I'm okay, I'm all fine with that. You know, I always say we're all God's people, you know? I mean, some of my best friends in Madison are on the other side of the aisle. I just think they're, you know, they have a different ideology. That's all. They just do. And I forgive them for it, and I try to, but in Madison, talking about jobs. We've heard more in the last 2 years about business fair share. We've heard that time and time and time again. And we're doing a disservice to the citizens of this state if we can't foster a good climate to do business. And Forbes magazine, by the way, ranks us 48 out of 50 states where the job growth is. We must change, and here's where my cup is half full. Bruce, I've been to you again. This is where my cup is half full. We're going to have a new governor. I don't know which side, but we're going to have a new governor, right?
Right.
We're going to have all kinds of new assemblymen elected and some new state senators. You have 7 months. You have 7 months to stay away from the golf course, to take a short vacation, not a long one, and get in the face of these officials, of these candidates that are running for election or re-election, and ask them those questions. What are you going to do about job growth in Eau Claire, Wisconsin? A great question. And get an answer from them and then hold it to them. I can't tell many people that I've had finger in my chest and say, Kapanke, when we get you there, I'm going to be watching you. And I say, you better watch me. You better, because you hired me, and there's too much on the line here to go back to just golfing or whatever you do. Stay tuned, and that's what gives me hope. That you are engaged and you're going to stay engaged beyond November 2nd. Because when you look the other way, then we get into situations that aren't what you want. So you're not going to look the other way, at least for a while. I know we become complacent and then we get back in our old ways. But there's too much at stake here. Our way of life is at stake.
Absolutely.
It's at stake. And I'll say this, I'll say this, 2 reasons that give me hope. Number one, the fact that you guys are all engaged, and so many others. And number 2, our collective faith in God. Those 2 things will get us through this. They will. And you notice, I didn't mention politicians. It's not us, it's you. It's you. Now, Bruce, go ahead. I've given you a lot of time here.
Yes, I appreciate that, and I thank you. I guess my question is, you know, we're talking about jobs and retaining jobs in this country. And my question is, where do you stand on fair trade and with the dumping and enforcing the World Money Organization rules and holding and enforcing the tariffs? Now, the steel industry, the smelters, the sugar price that's used for oil, and the paper industry, especially in the glossy paper, and all of these are suffered from the dumping that's going on in this country. Because you've got China, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, and all of these nations that are subsidizing these industries that move to China and these other countries. Keep the employees working and dump it here in this country below the cost of production. And they're also manipulating their dollar value. They have different name for their currency.
Right.
And the illegal logging that's going on in the world is creating our global warming and that. But my big thing is, where do you stand on enforcing the tariffs and stop the dumping?
Well, I think, the tariffs are in place to protect. And I could go to my agricultural background and tell you that I have dealt with farmers for 25 years. And we're bringing in, right now, milk prices are down, and I know that we're importing milk. I know that we're importing hogs. I know that. And hog prices haven't been good for quite some time. When I talk to farmers, they don't say, the government should do this for me, or the government should do that for me. Now, there may be some farmers, but I've been 25 years, and I've never been on a